Hey Bears fans, welcome back to Bears News Fan Report. And let me hit you with this straight. Something just shifted in the league's cornerback market, and it lines up with Chicago's biggest late-game headache. So tonight I'm walking you through the tape. The role, the price, and the timeline before I say the name. Here's the delivery in plain English. Why the boundary opposite our top corner keeps stressing our zones on second and medium, how a specific profile fixes it without breaking the cap or the draft, and what it looks like on Sunday when we make a quarterback hitch once and our rush finally closes. I'll keep the top line in the pocket for a minute because I want you with me for the football, not the fireworks. First, the need, no drama, just truth. When we're in two high shells on early downs and squeeze the curl window with inside help, our outside corner has to carry verticals with real long speed, but also keep zone eyes to drive the dig and the deep out. The problem is that any hesitation there forces our nickel to chase instead of rob, pulls a safety a half step wide, and suddenly a 12 to 18-yard throw becomes the lifeline that extends drives. That's the exact space teams hunt against us in the middle quarters, and it's why I've been pounding on a boundary fix that lets our front play four-man honesty more often. Now, why the timing works. Cincinnati reshuffled its corner room over the last year. Boundary snaps split between their young outside guys, nickel responsibilities evolving after a veteran moved on, and injuries nudging packages week to week, which creates a classic leverage window for a smart buyer. You don't need a fire sale, you just need a team with enough bodies to listen when value walks in the door. The profile I want is simple and very Chicago, 26 years old. Legit long speed to ride the 9, zone feel to jump intermediate breaks when the top is capped, physical enough to trigger in the run fit, and ball skills that turn 50-50 throws into our ball. Not empty calorie production, real throws denied with eyes, angles, and timing. In the last 2 seasons, plus change, the guy I'm circling stacked multiple interceptions and pass breakups while living in a zone-heavy menu. He's shown he can bait the deep out, then undercut it. And he plays the pocket like a wideout, not a DB panicking late. In our scheme, the usage is clean. Early downs, he sets outside leverage to his help. Patient feet, disciplined eyes, and when formations tell the truth, he fires on the quick game and tackles through the thigh board, no leaky yards. Money downs, he can press with patient feet to choke the stem, or bail from a disguised too-high look to carry verticals, or sit in quarters and jump the over when split and motion tip off the root family. That's the pattern recognition we've been missing on the edges of games. What about cost? This is why I'm leaning in right now. You're not marrying a massive number. You're renting a prime age outside corner on the final year of a rookie deal with a cap hit that barely scratches 1.5% for his current team, which gives you flexibility. You structure a conditional day 3 pick, baseline in the 5 or 6 range, with a light escalator tied to snap share and production so the price scales with impact. That keeps our 4 premium selections intact and tells the locker room the front office is backing a real run without mortgaging tomorrow. The football payoff is immediate. With boundary secure, we keep too high intact on early downs. Our linebackers read clean instead of getting pulled by window dressing. And the rush arrives without living on simulated pressure. That's the difference between chasing fourth-quarter stops with the call sheet and earning them with structure. Let me drop a quick mini report on what I'm putting on the table tonight. I'm going to show you how this corner's 2023 takeaways translated to real wins. Why his 2024 usage revealed both volatility and growth inside a defense that had coverage leaks. What the 2025 calendar and hamstring management mean for snap-to-snap reliability. How his cap number and contract length open a trade lane, and exactly how we would deploy him on 3rd and 7 against the opponents on our next 4 weeks. I'll cap it with the name, the package, and my short verdict, so stick with me to the end. On tape, the attraction is the blend. He trusts his speed enough to stay square on vertical stems instead of grabbing early. He keeps the quarterback in his vision in zone. And he plays through the catch point with late hands. Those are the small mechanics that turn contested throws into PBUs and picks. He's also a willing striker in the run fit, and that matters here because November football at Soldier is a different sport. Edges get muddy, splits get tight, and corners who don't finish give up first downs even when everyone fits correctly. Scheme fit? Perfect. In a defense that lives in disguise and rotates late, I need an outside corner who can survive on an island for the first 2 seconds and still process the picture once we spin. He does that. He doesn't bite on candy, and he understands root families, which lets our nickel rob more often, and our safeties stop playing hero ball over the top. Picture a late third quarter, one-score game near midfield. We spin to match. He aligns patient at 5, inside hand ready. The QB opens to the deep over, the window is capped, the QB hitches once, and that one hitch is the tick our edge needs to win under. The throw floats. The route never gets to full speed, and that drive dies quietly. That's the kind of stop you need in the cold. No highlight balloons, just structure doing its job. The counterargument is obvious. If he's that useful, why would Cincinnati listen? Roles, timing, and bodies. They've invested in multiple corners. They're juggling health and usage, and they've got decisions to make on other spots. That doesn't mark a player with a scarlet letter. It just opens a professional market where receiver-hungry teams pay more than corner-hungry teams. And that's where Chicago can be the adult in the room. Clean value. Conditional protection. Fast onboarding because the asks overlap what he already does. I also care about trajectory. In 2023, he spiked takeaways in limited games. In 2024, he played a full workload with a mix of splash and stress. Yes, he gave up yardage at times in a defense that sprang leaks, but he still finished with meaningful ball production and double-digit pass breakups. Then 2025 has been about settling into the rotation, flashing in coverage and managing soft tissue. I don't need a false superhero. I need a boundary who can give me 55-plus snaps of honest football and show up in the fourth when we keep the picture simple. He fits that. Now let me put it right on the table because you stayed. The move that aligns value with need for Chicago is Cam Taylor-Britt, boundary corner from the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm on record that he changes our Sundays the minute he walks in. He's 26, he's shown vertical carry and zone feel, he's produced takeaways across the last 2 seasons, and his contract makes a conditional day 3 offer credible. In our jersey, he locks the outside so we can call 4-man truth, stay light in the box, and quit emptying the pressure bag in the last 6 minutes. That's not smoke, that's leverage we can buy. Before I close, I want your voice in this because this channel runs with you. Do you invest a protected day 3 pick for a 26-year-old boundary with long speed and real ball production? Or do you wait for a cheaper rental with a lower ceiling? Who's losing snaps in your rotation if he walks in? And how do you want our match rules to tilt once the boundary is stabilized? Drop it below with football reasons, and I'll bring the smartest takes back in the next breakdown. My concise verdict: Taylor-Britt to Chicago is a cap-clean, locker room-friendly upgrade that stabilizes the boundary, protects our too-high world, and lets the rush finish on late downs without selling tomorrow. If you want faster updates and deeper chalk talk like this, tap subscribe, hit the like, share this with the diehard who sits next to you in the cold. And stay here at Bears News Fan Report. This is where we turn Sunday stress into Chicago standard again.